Okay, for real this time, this actually is the video in which we're going to do the boss of this area, although I guess first we better tell the guy that we genocided the skeletons. I hope he's pleased.
Always remember to report on your genocides.
I like how he just went and lay down on the floor.
You know, he might have had a little much this morning. You never know.
We've been altering our wardrobe again, haven't we? Are you okay, mate?
Do you feel better now?
Yes. I suppose I do. But it's still not the same as having my kids back with me.
That's the way revenge goes.
Yeah, you're probably right. But at least it saved me from pickling myself to death.
You seem to be way ahead of us in that regard, man.
I'll never stop grieving.
This is weirdly poignant with the music at the background.
Face the grief head on now.
And Lightning's weird ninja outfit with obligatory boob window, because Japan.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's standard issue on all ninja uniforms.
Everybody knows female ninja wore miniskirts.
What can this guy possibly give us that's a better reward than the giant, bright, hot pink sword with D-Protect Chaser that we got? Holy shit, can we talk about how amazing that weapon is? Because I want to talk about how amazing that weapon is, because it's pretty amazing.
Well, you're gonna get your chance pretty shortly, so...
Like, for real, in every way apart from the fact that it looks a bit ridiculous, this thing has like 100 or so more of any given stat than any other weapon that we can have. It has one of de facto the best passive abilities that you can have on a weapon, because I think we mentioned this before, but D-Protect Chaser will override absolutely any of a range of abilities with D-Protect Hunter, which has constant stats, so you can hack the shit out of things by turning Light Slash into D-Protect Hunter, so you can do a powerful ability for half the AP cost.
You'll never guess what I did with the cyber jumpsuit.
I have a notion what you've done.
I have a hope.
So yeah, on a related note, it takes some doing to color coordinate an outfit around Last One weapons, mostly because of their weird and unique lighting arrangements. But I think we said this at the time, but they are actually globally lit like the Last Ones themselves. They don't get lighting on them, they just are hot pink. They don't even glow, they don't cast light, they just are always lit.
No way to go but forward now.
So you can make an outfit that has the exact same shade of pink, but that outfit will get affected by stuff. That clock goes to 13.
Yeah, this is the forbidden clock, the ones that are wrong now.
So that's the holy cloud.
Right, because of the whole 26-hour day.
Together all the souls of the dead.
I still can't believe the fucking Chronostasis DLC foreshadowed that. I'm still mad about that.
Damn, can you feel that? It's like some kind of force pushing down on my chest.
There's no question. That artifact is definitely emitting powerful energy. No human could have made this. Not without divine help. Either that or the gods themselves made it.
You know, a box that gives one the power to, pull souls out of the dead, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's probably not man-made. Just a hunch.
Forget about it. Fang, it looks like secular.
Hiding in the chaos. Also,
What are you doing? This is what you've been looking for. I'm not letting anyone else have it. If Vanille uses this damn thing, she'll die. What do you
Okay.
mean? Damn this thing.
Lightning, why do you care about this?
Yeah, purify the dead.
Like,
Put them to
what
their
do
eternal
we
rest.
have?
All it'll
What
take
reason
is
do we have to object to Fang destroying this thing?
Vanille's
Seriously.
dead set on going through with it. She'll martyr herself to the past and then.
Yeah, it's not like we have any good reason to keep the box intact.
Bastards want to take it from me? No!
Oh,
Oh yeah, now that's a much better objection.
The Sacred One will doubtless be pleased.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Thank you on her behalf.
And there comes the check-it button again.
Oh yeah, they're all done up in that. Anyway, we don't have a significant character for you to fight at this point, and we couldn't give up a bullshit enough reason for it to be Fang, so here's a giant fucking monster for you to fight instead.
And in doing so, you blaspheme our almighty God. God's judgment be upon you. May you repent with your death.
They'll get their hands on the crevice over my dead body. So, Light, you want to lend me a hand? You're asking now?
I still think it would have been better if they'd contrived a bullshit reason for you to fight Fang here.
Get in my way.
Definitely much more in keeping.
Yeah, that would have made more sense, because, like, ideally you would have wanted it to build off of, hey, wait a minute, why are you trying to destroy the thing? I thought we wanted the thing. And then have her be like, you know, you're not, no one's gonna stop me, not even you. Boom, boss fight.
It's like an entire source of tension just wasted. Ah well. Yes, look at that cyber jumpsuit!
Right, so do you remember how back in 13 we had those assholes who had, like, the ability that you could barely hurt them until you staggered them?
Ah, boy.
Yeah, so here's the boss version of that.
I'm beyond excited about this.
Time to repent.
So he does a couple notable things. The biggest one is that he will hit you with about 4 different debuffs, and it is a royal pain in the ass. But if you bring a Veil Potion or like a couple remedies, you're probably going to be alright.
Eh. This standard JRPG boss pain time. Anyway, this seems like a suitable juncture for me to talk about clothes again. You can see that we've made an attempt to coordinate the trench coat with the hot pink sword, and then just because of the lighting in this room, it just doesn't work. This is what I was saying.
Yeah, if we had better lighting, you would see that I changed the blue accents to be pink instead. But
Yeah. Personally, my preferred way of doing this, especially because the Bone Cracker is just such a good, like, straight up attack sword, is that I use it with the suit. And I have a black suit, and I have a white shirt, and I have a hot pink tie. Like, color coordinate the tie with the sword, and it's great. It looks really sharp, and I don't just mean because of the sword. It's like as an outfit, it works. It's fortunate that black and hot pink can actually kind of work as an aesthetic. I promise I haven't put that much thought into this.
But yeah, there's really not a whole lot to say about this boss. Disaster hits about 5 or 6 times. It's not that dangerous. It is just as long as you have about 2,000 HP in store, you'll be fine.
Or, you know, you guard it competently.
Yeah, you say, and then, like I said, the breath attack hits you with about 4 different debuffs, and really that's about it. Hellcraft can hit for a decent chunk of damage, but other than that, that's really all he has to throw at you.
Like, even as I recall, the upgraded version of this boss it's really just more of the same. His numbers are bigger.
Yeah, I've never actually fought the upgraded version of this boss, but if you do this after day 7, you actually fight a completely different boss.
Well, you say completely different.
Right, it's not this enemy, but bigger. It is an actual different entry in the bestiary.
So are all the others. I mean, you know, like, Null is different from Null Plus. It's just that this is actually like an appreciably different design as well. But the design is all it is. I mean, they're very obviously like 2 different instances of the same kind of monster. They have different names, but they fight the same. And it's kind of weird.
Also, an interesting thing I just noticed is that Deep Protect Hunter does not trigger on Stagger Deep Protect.
Oh yeah, it has to be the buff Deprotect.
Well, that's rather specific.
It doesn't matter, he's dead now.
Yeah, the stagger thing isn't Deprotect, it's just his defense is down. Like, they're different things. Deprotect literally means the buff. Well, the debuff, deprotect. It's like a whole thing that it's got going on.
You know, I was about to ask if Fang was removed from the fight, but I realized that the camera has just been avoiding her like 75% of the fight.
Yeah, she was there, but she was kind of... She was sidelined for a lot of that, I think, because, like, Hellcraft fucks her up pretty bad.
Yeah, I just noticed when one of the chasers, the Deprotect Hunter, popped up.
The dead suffering? Oh, it eases it all right.
This seems like something you maybe should have mentioned before we literally got here.
No more suffering.
Yeah, like we would have been right behind her attempt to destroy it.
Just like she knows it'll kill her, and she just goes on saying she's got to do it. She says it's
Like,
the only way to stop the cries she
good
hears.
work keeping this from us.
And you didn't want to
Yeah, and she doesn't even have the excuse of, you know, not knowing how Lightning would have acted if she knew. You know, by now she should have known that she would be on board.
To keep it from her, I knew what would happen if the order got. Vanille would kill her.
Anyway, in conclusion, if we had just left this whole place alone, literally none of this would have happened. Because you can only get the Clavis with the help of the Saviour, and we could have just not done that, and the Order would not have got it.
I had to make sure that the Savior wouldn't hand
So,
the Clavis over to the Order.
good work,
I couldn't even trust my
Lightning,
old friend
but
like
mostly good work, Fang, for talking us into this.
That's low. You even doubted your old pal Lightning, spying on her like she was gonna stab you in the back.
You fucking tell her, Lumina.
It's not so different from the way I spied on you. I had to wait forever to tip those guys off.
But also good work, Lumina, for, you know,
who led the Secuitors to us?
Exactly. And
still
without
wouldn't have
help,
happened without Fang.
Now the Order has their little Clavis and they're beating a trail back to Luxurion. I can't wait to see that ceremony, can you?
Everyone involved in this is a moron.
Purified forever in return for Vanille's life. Even the soul that was once Sarah, wiped away like it never existed.
Oh no,
When does
not
the ceremony
Sarah.
It'll happen on the last day of the world. When the final bells start to toll across the land, Vanille will face the Clavis and begin the soul song.
This is the first time we get any kind of hints as to what the endgame of all this is actually going to involve.
Fang, Vanille is going to die. You never did mince words. And I can't save her. So, what's your point?
And it's your fault, you idiot.
No, this has a little more of a direct point.
You're saying you'd let her die? Yes.
Yeah, she's making a good point.
I can't do it for her.
Man, you really fucked this up, Fang.
But this is not even Lightning being Lightning. She actually has a mechanical reason to call it like that, to be, you know, mentioning this.
But again, she talks like she actually cares about Fang, which you would think she does, except that she's supposed to have this thing about not caring about anything anymore, and yet... Like,
I get it, Vanille. You hear me?
how fucking ironic is it that the acting here being too sincere is actually a mark against it? Like, the whole thing is just unreadable. You kind of have to take it at their word as to whether or not Lightning is actually being as sincere as she claims, and it's just kind of weird that you have to take the game's word for this. Like, a better game, well, I say a better game, a technically better game, a technically more capable game, with, like, acting and facial features, you know, something on the level of, off the top of my head, Uncharted, would have had it acted as a way in, like, hey, here's a character putting on a front, and she says this, and she means this, and you can see it in her eyes that she does or doesn't care, that she's putting on this affectation, but if you look deep, you can see the dead, soulless stare.
Right, I'm going to cut you off there because we discussed something very important. So the Prada Hood is one of two accessories that completely shatter this game. Now, you might notice that we have a garb that has 15% damage resistance, and we have another accessory which adds 10% damage resistance. Now, the Preda Hood, in exchange for tanking your stats down to 0, gives you 75% damage resistance to either physical or magical damage.
Well, in this case it's specifically magic, but there's another one that does it for physical.
Right, so basically what we have just done is we have created a schema that is 100% immune to magic damage. There is nothing outside of, unless we get hit with like D-Shell, Lightning will never take any damage when she is in this schema.
Yep, it's pretty great. Of course, the downside is that you then have to have entirely defensive and debuff related stuff on that schema, because it sure as hell will not be doing any damage. Which kind of makes me question why you've put it on the Bonecracker one, but, you know, I guess you're going to be doing some tinkering after this video.
It's been real, Lightning, but now it's
Also, yes, now that we've finished the plot, Fang is going to leave us.
Hey, next time I'm in the desert, you won't see me. The gang's officially disbanded. I've got somewhere else I need to be. Sounds like we have a date in Luxarian. Good luck, Fang. See you at the end of the world.
That's a good line there.
Yep, and with that, we are officially done with the desert.
Hooray. So, in conclusion, this whole thing was an enormous clusterfuck, and absolutely none of our involvement has improved anything in any way for anyone. Cool?